Greetings everyone, Charlene here, Send Parenting Tales. Come and walk with me. I tell you, don't watch my smiles, man. I'm feeling awful right now. I've just taken the boys to an after school, I guess, activity, and it's just so difficult getting them out of the house. I don't know if well, I do know it's a common thing. They like the sanctuary of their home, they feel safe at home, they feel secure at home, and it's just such a struggle to get them out. And my son Scotty, who's 16 with Down syndrome, he's very sociable, he loves to go out, he's always happy to go somewhere, but the other two, just so much in their own little world, love to do the arts and crafts. But oh God, I don't know, I got such a bee in my bonnet because last week when I brought Scotty to the club, towards the end he started to cry, and the worker there was really concerned, because even though they take children with SEND, obviously that the SEND is just not a straight line. So whatever his experience is, he was quite concerned that he was crying. And but it's just so interesting. Look, I feel like I'm going all over the place with the story, but it's so interesting because they were singing a song. So tonight on a Wednesday, it's like a music club. Monday is dance, Tuesday is drama, Wednesday is music. So this is a free resource that they're offering in this area. They take all abilities, all needs and what have you. So I thought, great, we'll give this a go, because the boys had expressed they wanted to do drama. Anyway, Scotty, he came last week, and towards the end he broke down crying. Now, the song that they were singing is excuse my voice, I'm not a singer. So it's and we'll rise up, we'll rise and I rise up, and I rise up. Yeah, don't laugh. So obviously that's quite, like, I would describe that like an emotional song, isn't it? It's like an emotive song. It will stir up an emotion in you. So the fact that they're singing this song and he started to cry, it's like you have to get out of your neurotypical head and kind of look from his perspective. And I just think that emotion, it just stirred up some emotions in him that he wasn't able to articulate. So he started to cry, And obviously it wasn't like, I've hurt myself cry. It was like that, yeah, man, he was feeling the music, So anyway, when I've come up, I feel like I'm going to have to do another video because this wasn't even what I was going to talk about. When I came up, they called, he called me in and was saying like, look, he's crying, whatever. But I just came in and then kind of stood back because I thought, let me just observe, because I didn't feel that the cry was because, something had happened to him or he was hurt or somebody was mean to him or whatever, I think I just immediately got it, why he was crying when I heard the song that they were practicing and singing. So anyway, he cried when I came, he felt better, he embraced me. And then there was like a circle of maybe, I don't know, 14 children, including the teacher who was leading and the guy who was playing the guitar. So Scotty has then proceeded, he wanted to give everybody a hug, Oh God, oh my goodness, he wanted to give everybody a hug, and straight away I was thinking to myself, oh gosh, what if they don't want to hug him? Do you know what I mean? Like, people are allowed to not want to be touched, But anyway, they were so nice, really gracious. They accepted the love that he was giving. And I think it was just his way of again, you know, words without words. He wanted to just convey that, you know, he was moved by the song and he was just showing them love, because obviously everything stopped when he started to cry. So, God, yeah. So I'm saying to the boys, okay, so Scotty is, so it started last week. Scotty went Monday, he went all 3 nights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because he just loves, you know, as I said, being out, getting himself involved in things. He loves that. The boys only wanted to do Tuesday, which was a drama. But I'm saying to them, you know, look, why don't you go with him? Get out of the house. You know, you come in from school, you go straight in your bed. You know, you don't have to be fighting with you to do any form of homework, read anything. Like, it's just the same thing day in, day out. I just got so frustrated. So I'm saying to them, you know, so Scotty, he's gone with his PA today. He goes straight from school and then she drops him to the club. So I'm saying to them, like, you know, this just can't carry on. This cannot carry on. And, you know, like, then I'm in my head thinking, but, you know, they're on the spectrum. They're neurodivergent. What am I saying to them? But I just got really frustrated because it's like I was having this conversation with myself, like, am I being unfair? Because, like, I just went in. I'm like, listen, this cannot carry on. What do you think your life's going to be like? You're just home. You don't want to go nowhere. Like, we've got a park. You can see the park from their bedroom window. They never want to go to the park. The sun could be beaming outside. Like, my husband has had to force them to go to the park. Like, they just don't want to go nowhere. And, you know, it's just that thing of, like, you have to force them. Like, you have to force them. I don't know what anybody else's perspective is on this, because I'm just inclined to think, yeah, obviously it is relative to the condition that your child has. But I feel like my children, you know, they're not non-verbal. They can speak. They can think for themselves. They, you know, function very well. However, there is definitely cognitive challenges there. There is definitely emotional regulation challenges there. And yes, they're undiagnosed, but in my, you know, opinion, based on my years of experience, I would say they are on the spectrum, autistic and ADHD. You know what? I feel like I don't even know what I'm saying here, because so the long and short of it is, after I've gone in on them now about doing more, being more active, getting involved in things that are happening in the community, one of them started to cry, saying that he's really sorry, that he's disappointed me. And then obviously I feel really bad. But I think it's just so important that, you know, our children still need to be guided. Even though they have a condition, it is my responsibility to still guide him. Obviously, I don't want him to be crying. That's not that, you know, that's not the aim. But I have to guide him. All I think about is, what about, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. What is your life going to be? You know, you're very fortunate that, you know, you may not say, you know, achieve what a neurotypical person would achieve in life in terms of career or work or whatever it may be. However, you can definitely, you know, live a good life, achieve what you need to achieve to maintain yourself. And I really would love that for him. However, I'm going to have to guide him. And sometimes, you know, it may involve tears. But it's just so difficult. Like, it's just really difficult. I feel really bad now, because he was really upset and then he didn't want to come in. I'm sitting in the car waiting for them. And then he didn't want to go to the club because obviously he'd been crying. But I had a sweet in my bag, so I broke it in half and gave them half each told them that I loved them and hugged them and everything. But yeah, let me know, like, what do you do? Do you, I guess it is, do you force your children to actually do more? Because as I say, I know it's such a common thing for them to be really homebodies, you know, not, you know, can be very unsociable. What do you do? Like, it's just, oh my God, I could go on and on, seriously. I think I'm gonna have to make another video. But please, you know, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think, because I really did not want to upset him. That definitely wasn't the aim, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, they have to be guided. Surely I cannot leave him to make his own decisions. How can he make his own decisions? But you see that so much now. Children are making their own decisions about all kinds of things that I don't feel like they're qualified to actually make the decisions on. You know, I'm the parent. And with or without an additional need, you still need to be guided. You still need to be pushed to reach your full potential. Surely that has to be, you know, legitimate, you know, a legitimate movement for me as the parent, you know. Oh, Lord. Let me know your thoughts. Am I talking madness? Let me know your thoughts. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you did, what you think about what I had done, what you're gonna do. Yeah.